Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 81 of the 72 review. Really enjoyed last week's episode where it was a bit of a phone-in, but we are back to the normal format today. We've got three of us on the panel to talk about everything EFL across the Championship, League One and League Two. All links to socials and YouTube and channels are in the description down below. We'll go around the screen and do some introductions. I'm 18 Dapper, you should know me, you're on this channel. Doncaster Rovers content more often than not with the 72 review on a Sunday. Next to me, Punk Chef, you are back. Introduce yourself, let people know who you are, what you do and why you do it.
I am Punk Chef 41. I cover all things Sheffield Wednesday, transfer news, whatever the grass is in the pitch, I don't know. But I do cover it all. I also help co-host the Talking Wednesday podcast, which is out every Sunday at about 1 p.m. But yeah, cover everything Wednesday, and I haven't been on as much recently. Starting to realise that I'd nearly got a toddler, and yeah, kids, life,
Really?
wife. He's 10 months. He's 11 months in November. It's nearly a year, and I've got to plan 2 birthdays in the space of a week because Hunter was born on the 12th and my daughter was born on the 14th. So yeah, I don't like Christmas at all because I have no money. But apart from that, everything's good, and it's good to be back on, and I'll be able to do the full show.
That's proper poor planning from your part, that, Jake.
Alas, as she's lambing season in March.
Love it. And below us, Ian, introduce yourself, let people know who you are, what you do and why you do it.
Hello, I'm Ian. I'm a 62-year-old Millers season ticket holder, Rotherham United. And when the Millers are away, I go around the country vlogging for my own YouTube channel, Old Man Ground Hopping. But still, stupidly, yesterday I actually vlogged our own home game, which I don't normally do. I don't normally do it. But yeah, give it a watch. I think it's quite entertaining anyway.
To be fair, mate, you kept fairly impartial throughout
You did.
to say that you're vlogging your own team.
Yeah.
So that's the difficulty with vlogging your own team.
In the chat that we had, you were umming and ahhing about doing it. But I think you should do more of it because you are impartial even when it's your own team.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I tried to be. Yeah. A bit difficult sometimes. Yeah.
It is. Over to you in the chat. Obviously, we welcome the chat questions and stuff. It does drive our conversation as well as we're talking about everything that happens throughout the EFL. We've got some comments that have come in straight away, so we will get the screen up. We will get the banner, and I'll go through some comments. And we're going to start with Sheffield Wednesday's 2-0 defeat at home to Burnley. Jake, it is over to you, mate.
You know what? A lot of our fans have gone a bit, I don't know. I don't want to say overboard, but you look at where they are in the league and they were in Prem. I don't think we did that badly, to be fair. A 2-0 loss against a team that doesn't really concede a lot ain't that bad. Yeah. We played some good football at times. And for me, one of the annoying things was we're just not clinical enough. We got Ugbo at the minute who's not firing on all cylinders because personally, I don't think we're playing to what his strengths were last season. Last season, it was getting balls into the box, and we're not really doing that. You actually look at the stats, we were in it.
Yeah.
If you look at the stats, we were actually in it.
Ugbo should have scored that header. He should have at least got it 100%. On target.
He's lacking confidence. You can tell he's a player that's a confident player, and you can tell he's not got it yet. The ball in for that was fantastic, but you look at the goal we conceded, there was just poor defending by Valerie. Valerie's not switched on and thought about who might be able to get in behind him on the first one. And on the second one, it's a fantastic save. But then I have an issue with our goalkeeper. I love our goalkeeper, don't get me wrong. He's really good. But I have an issue. It's the modern day goalkeeper and parrying it out. I hate this whole thing where they parry it out or they punch it. I don't know about anyone else who was a kid. I always got told to catch it. Yeah. Catch the ball, take it in at your chest, make the W sign so you can hold the ball. But that doesn't seem to happen anymore in modern day goalkeeping. And I think for me, at 2-0, the game was pretty much done for us. We kind of had to just see what happens and hope for the best. Smith should have buried that chance at the end, but it's a very difficult chance on the volley.
But having said that, that would have been just a consolation, I would have thought.
It wouldn't have meant anything. It wouldn't have meant nothing. But We got to dust ourselves back down. I don't think it was a bad performance that people are making out to be. I think the international break came at the wrong time for where we were just getting momentum. And you got to remember, we're a work in progress. We are that team that's going to flutter every now and again. We're going to have a good bit and then we're going to have a poor bit. I think the next 2 games are crucial because we've got Swansea and Pompey.
Yeah.
I think if we can get something out of them, then it sets it back up again. And I think we've got Norwich, Brentford in the cup, and then when the actual break happens, before that we got Sheffield United. So we got the Steel City derby for a very long time. But we just need to get more clinical. If we can get more clinical, I think we'll be on it because our XG is like 10. It's mid-table XG, which is ridiculous considering we're not scoring. And Burnley's is 12. So we'll see. Good, we couldn't get a thing, but we need to get it a little bit tighter at the back and just find a goalman, really.
Yeah. I think for me, Jake, I watched the highlights last night, and you guys were the featured game, weren't you, on ITV? You were on first, and the first couple of minutes of the highlights were just Sheffield Wednesday attempts. And I think you've got to take some sort of hope or some sort of comfort from that, even though it's a defeat. That
Burnley are well organised.
Yeah, there were elements of it where on another day, one of those would have gone in,
exactly,
or you'd have kind of come good on your chances, and then you'd have been 1 or 2 up before Burnley even got a sniff.
But
it was
like one of the players we were missing was Windass, and there's a
big myth.
It was a big myth, but the reason he was out was a legitimate reason, and people have lost their heads on it. He just had a little baby girl.
Yeah,
his wife and him had a little baby girl, so he gets parental leave, which is right. And like people said, and I've seen people go, "Well, he shouldn't have that. He's a footballer." No, he's a human being. They're allowed to have time with the kids. Let them. I think there's a generation that still thinks just because of footballers they should play week in, week out. Nah, go spend time with your kid. I think we need to let Pato probably get a game. We've got the young lad from McNeil that I really want to see use because I have got on my soundboard and I haven't used it yet.
Give us McNeil.
I want to get him playing because I really want to use that when he goes. But you know what? 2-0 versus Burnley, who don't score a lot. You know what? I'll take that. At the end of the day, a draw would have done me right. But at the end of the day, we brush ourselves down and we go again on Tuesday night versus Swansea at home.
I think we win that as well, Jake. It's kind of a no-win situation, isn't it? You allow him time off to spend it with his newborn and his wife, and people complain, or you make him play, and because he's probably not got a wink of sleep with the excitement or everything else, the stress and everything else.
We did our
an absolute dreadful performance, and then everybody will be slagging him.
Yeah.
So
we did our
it's a no-win situation, isn't it?
We did our photographs midweek, you know, like the
He
team photographs. He looked dead. He looked like he's seen things and he doesn't want to see them again. I'm telling you now, that lad is looking forward to Pompey away on Friday night because he just gets a good night's sleep on Thursday night.
But no, I'm with you. Footballers are just human beings, and I think they should have the exact same rights as everybody else.
Yeah.
John said that Valerie's lacking concentration. Imagine his shot.
You did warn me, John. You did warn me.
Yeah.
When we were signed him, he said, "Oh, I can't believe you signed him. He's not that good, mate." I'm like, "I'll see," and I'm starting to see.
Yeah, he's got a lack of concentration. Ian, any championship games that stood out to you, mate?
You've got to really give a bit of praise to Pompey because they got the first win of the season at QPR.
Yeah,
they were the only EFL team yet to win, I believe.
Yes, I think they were.
I think they were. And they finally got that off the back. Decent performance.
Finally got that off the back. Yeah, decent performance. QPR, they're looking a little bit low on confidence. I think they've gone to the bottom of the table now.
They have.
Yeah. Well, I'm a bit surprised because I thought they'd kick on last season after they ended last season so well. But it's just not seemed to happen for them. I think the loss of Lyndon Dykes has hindered them somewhat, and I don't think they've replaced him. But as far as Pompey are concerned, yeah, excellent first win of the season.
Yeah.
And
we've been corrected. James has come in and said now Burton are the only winless team. So
right,
a couple of winless teams. Burton are the only one left.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah,
Thanks,
mate.
James. Yeah. So, yeah, hats off to them. It looks like a bit of a smash and grab, but 11 shots, 3 on target for the away team is not half bad, that.
No.
And QPR are normally quite good at home.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
And we've said a few times over the last couple of weeks, haven't we, that Pompey have had a really tough start in terms of teams that they've faced, and they've gone toe to toe with a lot, but not really got the results from them. So
they've got a few creditable draws.
Yeah,
a few creditable draws, but with 3 points for a win, you just need them 3-pointers to come fairly often. But this might set them up now. Yeah,
definitely.
Also,
John's asked.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Oh dear.
I've not seen ATID in the chat yet.
No, I haven't.
I'm sure he will come because even when
the
bad
losers
times, ATID is quite happy at coming in and saying his piece about his team.
That's a good win for Cardiff, though. They needed that.
Yeah,
they definitely needed
that. But what was he doing? You won the free kick.
Yeah,
and then you go. He got that losing his head mentality. That player, and I think it's just a lad who needs to he's a young lad who needs to just realize you can't keep doing that.
Yeah,
because it's not the first
time. There was no need for it.
They were 2-0 down at the time, but at least there was a chance of them coming back.
Yeah.
But I saw Cardiff recently.
Second half, they just blew them away, didn't they?
Yeah. I saw Cardiff recently at Hull when they lost 4-1 at Hull, and they looked awful. But that is a...
25.
25 shots, 11 on target.
Well, you know who Cardiff have got next game, don't you? Pompey on Tuesday night.
Ooh, where? At Cardiff City Stadium?
Yep, at Cardiff City Stadium.
Yeah. Well, they'll be full of confidence going into that one, man.
Yeah, could be a good game, that. Yeah. But I watched this game and I thought Plymouth just didn't. They got the ability to really well, but they're going to rely on their home form again.
Yeah, and rely on Whittaker to score the goals.
I don't know if they're going to be able to use it that much because they have to be better away from home, and they're not. Yeah. Their away performances, they had an okay one, I think, just before the international break, but again, Burnley. But they have these little blips like this, and you can't have little blips like this because it'll catch up with you at the end of the season.
It does. It does. I can speak from experience. Once you get your first absolute battering, it's very difficult to recover from.
Yeah. I mean, John said that in all seriousness, Plymouth look exactly like Birmingham did under Rooney. At times decent on the ball and do try to play football. However, just too easy to play against. And maybe it was impacted by Rooney not being on the sideline.
Could have been.
It was his touchline ban, hasn't he? I'm not sure if it's 1 or 3 games that he's got. But it could have an impact that he's not on the sideline bellowing instructions. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
So we mentioned that we're not seeing ATID in the chat, and he's just joined at the wrong time. While we're on ATID,
can I ask ATID a question, please? On November the 9th, I'm going and vlogging Derby against Plymouth at Pride Park. Will you be there, mate? Because I'd like to have a chat.
There we go. ATID is saying that it wasn't on Rooney. It was on the lazy, overpaid pricks on the pitch. So, ATID is not happy with the squad.
Get that.
And I think we've said this a lot on this show. More than likely, I'm assuming that's in answer to going to Derby.
Yeah. Well, let me know. Let me know either in next week's show or, DM me or whatever.
Lovely stuff. But we've said it quite a lot on this show over the 81 episodes that we've done.
Yeah.
That at home or away, all you want to see is a performance from your team. And even if you do get spanked 5-0, that the 25 shots, 11 on target, if you've been outplayed, but that effort, that endeavour's been there from every member of your squad,
Yeah.
but you've just been beat to a man, you can accept that as a fan and be like, yeah, fair enough. But
and I think we said in the
ATID
past, there's
saying
only
it's one of the
so
worst
much.
away performances he's ever seen, a lot worse than Wednesday. So yeah, it's like the players have just not turned up, which is inexcusable for me.
And it's this whole thing, like fans seem to always say, well, it's on the manager that they lost. It's like, well, the manager can't go out and kick the ball. He might tell them what to do, but if they don't do what he's wanting them to do, how's that on the manager?
Yeah, exactly that. Poor day at the office. Plymouth, where are they next? Tuesday night, head to Millwall on Wednesday night.
That's
sorry.
not a nice.
That's a tough place to go on a Wednesday night as well.
Yeah. HID said that they missed a 1-on-1 to go 1-0 up. Cardiff scored the other end, and that was it. Complete head loss. Can't believe some muppet told me off for leaving at 3-0. you missed 2 goals, HID, but yeah.
You know what? I don't blame any Plymouth fan if you're 3-0 down.
No.
And you were like, right, I'm going home. You are the one fan base actually that gets a pass, depending on where you are away. Can go, go home.
Yeah, definitely.
9 times out of 10, I say you stay till the 90 until the final whistle. But in your case, you know it's not going to be your day. Start making your journey home.
Bailey says never leave a game early. I think sometimes, to be fair, the few of saying never leave a game early.
I never do.
And HID has done nearly 16,000 miles to see 3 wins in 2 years.
Yeah.
I think HID has got the right to leave whenever he wants.
HID gets
based on those statistics.
Leeds United ending Sheffield United unbeaten run.
We'll go there, and then after that, we've got Lewis, a Sunderland fan who loves Mr. Madley. So we'll move on to Sunderland
I can't
after this one. Jake, Leeds against Sheffield United.
I watched this game. I didn't even want either one of them to win. I hate the pair of them. But Sheffield United just didn't look like a team that were unbeaten. They looked very poor. They looked like it was a bit one of those games where Friday night came a bit too quick for them. Really good taken goal by Leeds. Look at that, 5 shots, none on target. The thing is, we spoke about Sheffield United just getting the odd win, like by 1-0 or 2-0. And this showed that they are beatable. But Leeds put a performance in that I don't think we've seen in a while where Leeds have looked dominating. Because I think it's taking a while for them to start to get up to speed with it. The thing is, what people have got to remember, we all forget that Leeds was one of the teams that came down last season, and it's very rare a team that goes down stays in the Championship the next season. Normally, all 3 go up.
Yeah,
and the fact that they're having to do a rebuild again, there've been talks of them bringing in another midfielder because they got injury hit places all over the pitch. They will be happy with a 2-0 win at home, and sets them up to start going up the table and trying to go for an automatic, because right now it does look like it's Sheffield United, Leeds, Burnley, Sunderland, who are the ones who are all there to get either one of those automatics or the playoffs. But the thing is, one of these teams are going to go at some point and kick on. But I don't think we're going to see it till about mid-February time after a transfer window, because they're all very tight.
Yeah. And I think we will say before we move on to the Hull Sunderland game, fantastic tribute for Baldock before the game on this one as well.
And all around the country.
Yeah.
Everyone that's done it, it's been really well respected, and it's how it should be.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Thoughts with Matt Smith as well at Millwall with the loss of his 4-month-old child.
Yes. And Steve Bruce as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a nice thing at all.
Not a good week. Not a good week at all, really.
No. On to Hull City against Sunderland. So we saw earlier that Lewis is in love with Mr. Madley. Big talking point in this one. So if you've not seen it yet, because it was the game that was played today,
3 o'clock today.
The ball comes from a corner towards the edge of the box, like the top corner of the 18-yard box from where the corner's been taken. And Madley stood just maybe 19, 20 yards away from goal. And the whole player stood in between Madley and the ball. Or Madley's between the whole player and the ball. Comes across and it looks like the whole player's kind of had to shift his body to adjust to avoid the referee.
He had to change direction, hadn't he?
Yeah, and then he's lost possession, and then it's a fantastic rapid counter-attack, which Isidore puts away beautifully. But it is a big talking point that the referee's pretty much got in the way. But
he books the player well at the end of it that had the ball, because I think it got to be for dissent.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where you see it happen, and sometimes you see a referee will go drop ball, or he'll give it elsewhere. But it's just, I think from a referee point of view, and I think an experienced one at that, even though we all have our disdain for Bobby Madley, surely he knows he's going to be standing a little bit further away.
Yeah, but I think because he's not touched the ball, he's not officially
He's not
interfered,
actually technically interfering, is it? It's just a line of sight.
Yeah. I mean, Lewis has said, to be honest, the all player lost the ball fair and square as the ref was 5 yards away. I think 5 yards is a bit of a stretch. I think we're a little bit closer than that. Quite a poor first half, but dealt with them well. Good win, as Luton will be tough midweek. And I think ultimately you've got to look at the stats as well. A game's 90 minutes long, and I know there's moments in games that do change it, but they've had 8 shots at goal, not one on target. It's been a fairly even game possession wise. Sunderland, they've had a few more shots on target and made those
I know you're saying Luton will be tough midweek. They're a bit of a weird team. They're very inconsistent.
They were well up for it on their derby.
One week they go, 1 week they're not. It depends what he said to them. Their derby, they were well up for it. But they didn't have to do anything. All they would have needed to do was see what Watford put out before kickoff with the video montage, and that would have been it.
That's
that really backfired.
But on this one, I think looking at the stats and the bits that I saw today, I think a draw would have probably been a fair result. I think Sunderland did cope with Hull pretty well, but I don't think there was that much in it, in all fairness. But
Hull are a weird one this season, because I don't know where to put them.
Yeah, I think they're in a bit of a transition, aren't they? They looked really good last season. They didn't look particularly special at ours pre-season. So yeah, it's a tough one to call for Hull.
Yeah.
Ian, any other championship games that you want to touch on before we look at the table and move on to
just what we were saying a few weeks ago about Coventry being too good to struggle. Are they really? Because they're continuing to struggle. I mean, it's becoming a little bit of a crisis there now. I would say. I mean, we all expect Coventry to be in the sort of like top half pushing for playoffs, but it's just not happening.
They got QPR away next game, and then they got Luton on Saturday.
2 big games.
So they're 2 big games to up for them. Yeah.
I think we've said it before, though, that Coventry tend to be slow burners to begin with and then push on. In the latter
slow
part of
burners and really getting into trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, but normally they're starting to turn the corner by now.
Yeah.
Normally by the second international break, they turn the corner.
Yeah, guys, season starts at Christmas for Cov.
Yeah. The problem is how long does Mark? I know Mark Robbins has done amazing there, but at what point and we know how stupid ownerships are. Let's just call it what they are. But what do the point do they go? Well, you've done amazing while you're here, but we need a change. And the problem is, if you then get a change at the wrong time, we've all seen it.
Yeah.
And you've got a certain way you play.
And it's normally after a really tough losing streak that they get rid of the manager.
Yeah.
And the fans, some of the fans are turning on him.
What he can.
Maybe he has.
He looked a bit crestfallen on touchline yesterday. He didn't look happy at all.
Yeah. I mean, that's a stat, isn't it? Coventry haven't won at Preston in over 100 years.
Yes.
That's not a place they want to go very often. But John agrees. He thinks Coventry are in trouble. They've usually turned it around by now, and Robin's being dragged away from arguing with fans isn't a good sign.
No,
yeah,
not a good sign.
Normally the beginning of the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
Which is sad because he's done fantastic there.
We've got that David in on the live. Good evening.
Hey, what's up, David? How you doing, mate?
For the Rovers. Be very happy with the 2-1 win. We will move on to League Two, but first we've got League One. We'll just look at the Championship table first. QPR, it's not looking good. 4 defeats on the bounce, meaning that they drop down to the foot of the table after getting beaten by Portsmouth, who get their first win. We are global once again, guys. Anthony is currently on holiday in Greece, so good evening. They'll be very happy with a Huddersfield 3-1 win, which we'll touch on shortly. Cardiff, after the 5-0 win, decent little bumper form for Cardiff. 2 wins and a draw has lifted them up to 22nd. And yeah, Coventry looking in a bit of bother. 1 win in the last 5, not great. HID wants to be back in Helsinki rather than Cardiff.
I can understand that.
Yeah, Millwall in 20th as well. Jake currently in 18th. 11
I'm all right.
points.
I'm okay with that. Just
Okay
got to
with
keep
that.
trying to build because I've got up mid-table. Transitional season for us, new players. Danny Fair, full season in charge. Let's see what happens because it's a funny old season. Thing is, if we got the wins versus Luton and QPR, we would have been we would have been top half near pushing playoffs before the international break. So it shows you how tight it is.
ATID, I love your comments. We've had the El Crapico, now the El Spastico. Millwall versus Argyle. Unreal. Hull's currently sitting in 14th. It's one of those we're struggling to place them this season. But looking at the top of the table, Sunderland, after the win today, go back top. Burnley occupied first for a short while after their win yesterday. Leeds in 3rd, Sheffield United in 4th. And then
West Brom dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, they have.
You've got to take your hat off to Oxford for their start after promotion.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
they've done really well. Yeah, and Derby, yeah.
They took to the league like no business.
Step aside, QPR versus Pompey. Okay, moving on to League One. Let's get the banner sorted out. 1 second. There we go. Normally forget about that one. We have got Rotherham 0, Wrexham 1. Action in the first minute. What happened after that? Talk us through it, Ian.
Well, I mean, it's probably one of the quickest goals I've ever seen live. It was literally straight from the kickoff. The ball was played back, sprayed out to the right wing. The guy did a couple of step overs. Barnett, I think it was, whipped the ball over. McCart was asleep, and Mullin did what he does. He nips in, and it was a really good finish, actually. It was it would really controlled finish, and we were a goal down. After that, though, I mean, I'm not too disappointed with our performance. I think we played very well. We had chances, I would say, not gilt-edged chances. I mean, the Wrexham keeper pulled a couple of good saves off. We hit the woodwork. We had one cleared off the line from the rebound from the one that hit the woodwork. And we were well in the game. Pardon?
Yeah, still a conquo at Wrexham. Very good keeper. Right.
Yeah, very good keeper. And he's massive as well. He's about 6'7". He's a bit like that guy that played for Stockport last. That Adai, Corey Adai. Yeah. He's like a man mountain. I was very pleased throughout with our performance. I mean, when Wrexham came forward, they looked pretty dangerous. I mean, Cameron Dawson pulled 2 or 3 saves off, but they were really routine saves, I would say. Yeah. And I think we were unlucky to lose the game. I've seen Wrexham, they're decent. They defended exceptionally well when they had to throw the bodies on the line. Mr. McLean didn't upset anybody yesterday, which is a surprise.
I changed.
James McLean. I know. I think he must have had an off day.
Mellowed out in his old age.
He might have, yeah.
The question for me: did Steve Evans get a yellow card or not?
No, because he was serving a ban.
Hey, so we're going to wait until next.
Yeah, I don't think Paul Rayner did either. But Disappointed with the result, encouraged with the performance. That's what I'll take from that. I've seen Wrexham, the second in the league. Like I said, they're defensively solid. They do they're a decent team. They're not the best side I've seen. They're nowhere near as good as Birmingham City. Nowhere near as good. I just think they got away with it yesterday a little bit. But I've got to a shout out to Wrexham fans who were absolutely fantastic throughout the whole 95 minutes. They never stopped singing from minute one, and they were definitely the 12th man there. They were the best.
We were one up from minute one, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Does help.
The best set of fans that I've seen at our place for a couple of years at least. They were absolutely superb. So
news on ATID as well, Ian.
Pardon?
It will be at Derby, so his schedule is sadly free. But that's about watching Argyle away and not meeting you. Don't take any offence to his schedule being sadly free.
Yeah. Okay. No, see you there then.
Lovely stuff. And I think from Wrexham, we may as well go to Lincoln. We spoke last week. Birmingham tasted defeat for the first time. There's a couple more. Keshi Anderson used to play for Donny.
There you go.
I
agree with what Sue said, though. Sue left a comment. Bailey is someone who our fans are currently calling for him to get recalled in January and come back. But I don't know if that's a good thing. I think let's see where we are in terms of if we're still not scoring, because I think it's better for a young lad to go scoring League One at Hatfield and then come back the next season really ready to go and pushing on and playing week in, week out. But Bailey is one of our biggest talent we got. And I'm just glad he's enjoying his football there. But you as a club, Lincoln, you have a habit of taking loan players and just making them amazing. Yeah. It's a credit to your football club.
Yeah, so Sue said that she's proud of our lads. If the penalty had gone in, different outcome.
It could have been. It would have been so much different.
Yeah. Blues have some serious players, and then she said Punk Chef Bailey's become a beast, going for everything and not scared to go for a tackle.
What we want.
Yeah, but last week we questioned Birmingham's resolve and how they'd respond to tasting their first defeat, and they responded pretty well because Lincoln's not an easy place to go, playing very, very well this season. John said that it was a good game. We did our usual giving an opposition a goal start in the first 10 minutes, but fair result in the end. I do think if the penalty had gone in, it could have gone a different way.
Been dicey.
I mean, they passed the air out of the ball again. What you'd expect from
always
Birmingham.
do.
Yeah,
they always do.
What I'm interested in is, although Lincoln have only had 24% possession, they've actually had shots at goal, more shots at goal than what Birmingham did, albeit not as many on target. So they've used the ball really well, the little bit that they had, and
But it's a hard place to go to Lincoln because Lincoln make their home a fortress every season. Teams have to go and play, because if you don't play, Lincoln will just get on top of you and they'll batter you at times.
Yeah,
you can't go to Lincoln.
I don't know if this is tongue in cheek or not. If the pen goes in, we'd have come out of third gear, guys. No panic. Love it.
They're not arrogant, are they? No.
Hey, if you've got a team as good as them, I think they've got a right to enjoy it while it's there. But no, they've responded really well. It was great to see Keshi score a couple of goals. It was decent when he played for Donny. And both goals were, I mean, his second especially was put away really well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So good result for Birmingham. Jake, any League One game that tickles your fancy?
Go to Huddersfield, fan.
If he's still watching in Greece.
It's
not had many pictures sent across, which is nice because I'm sure I'll get one tomorrow morning.
It's a cracking result. I kind of a little bit worried for Bristol Rovers at the minute. They're not having the best of time. But Huddersfield have just turned that around and just done really well.
This was a hammering, wasn't it? This was a hammering.
Yeah. Bristol just didn't feel like they turned up. It's like they've done the trip down, and it's like they just from minute one they just didn't seem like the races. And I think if you get a squad like Huddersfield and they smell blood, they'll just attack. And we all know what Duff can do in this league. He's very good, and he built a very good squad. And
Huddersfield aren't going to be far away. I'll
No.
tell you that. They're not going to be
I think
far
there'll be
away.
playoffs. I've got them in playoffs because I think our top two we're looking at a minute.
I'm not so sure.
It all depends what happens at Christmas. It only takes. The thing is, you notice League One has an issue. Is when it comes to Christmas, Championship club don't want to spend a lot of money, so they go looking in League One for players, and they go and take some of the best players and shove them in Championship teams.
Yeah,
it happens each year, so it all depends who can have the kind of resources to go. No, you're not taking them, or a player doesn't have his head turned. But good result for Huddersfield, and Bristol Rovers just didn't turn up, did they?
Question on this one for you two guys. We'll start with Ian and then go to Jake, and also a question for the chat. So get your comments in. I don't know if you've seen the highlights, but I think it's Huddersfield's first goal. The corner, the ball isn't in the quadrant. What benefit and what advantage do you get from it not being in the quadrant? It really annoys me because players put it just outside the quadrant at the Eco Power all the time, and we sit in the corner, so we're on them straight away. But that inch or whatever, surely it doesn't. I know I'm saying what advantage do you get? They scored from it, but surely as a professional footballer, you should still be able to deliver a ball in if it's in the quadrant, not out of it. I just don't understand.
I've never understood it. And also, the linesman should absolutely insist that it's in the quadrant.
I think you're on the other side, but then the liner on the halfway line should probably be able to have a look and see. I don't know. It's just frustrating. Does it?
I don't see what advantage to get out of it. But it happens every week at every club, doesn't it?
The thing
every
is, technically, as long as it's on the line, like at the corner thing, it counts. Because if you look here, there's an article that's just gone, or just put it in the private chat for you, Dan, about trialing the corner rule.
Right. Okay.
So they could be changing it soon. But the thing is, I never see, for all the time I've watched, up until like the last 10 years, it's always had to be inside that little D, that little semi. And now, I don't know if it's the case that they can whip it more if they put it in a certain bit, instead of having to be inside and get more of a run up. Because that's the only thing I can think is the run up.
Basically, part of the ball has to be hovering over the line. So it's like when the ball is deemed to fully cross the line or anything. But this one, it's about that far out. Like even like the outside of the curvature of the ball is about that far out. You can see daylight between like the quadrant and then there's grass, then the ball. But it's just little things like that annoy me. And like the 6 second rule when the keeper's got all of it, I'm sure that's still a thing, but it's never brought in.
It's never been done.
Yeah, little things annoy me. But no, good result.
So here's something they're trialing in Premier League 2, right? They're doing a trial signing goalkeeping, holding onto the ball for over 6 seconds. If they delay for 8 seconds and it hasn't been released, a corner kick will be granted to the opposition.
That's great.
Now that is a rule I can get behind.
After 3 seconds, the referee signals the countdown. If the goalkeeper is foolish enough to prolong it, it leads to a corner. And then if this then changes it ultimately to an indirect free kick in the 6 yard offer it for ethics. So if you hold on to it more than 8 seconds, it's a corner. The problem is we've seen this happen before where they brought these rules in and they laugh for all of 5 games. And then referees forget to do them. The only time, this is generally the only time the 6 second rule actually comes into play when I'm playing EAFC.
So it must still be a rule. It's got to be. If it's still in that,
it is. They just don't. They don't do it.
I think we need to touch on Blackpool against Barnsley. Not the greatest spectacle of a game, in all fairness, but I think a credit where it's due to both sets of fans, both sets of players, and we slag referees off left, right, and centre on this show, but credit to the referee on this as well, where the 4th minute, Steve Bruce's grandson, I believe it is, passed away at 4 months old, which is I can't even imagine the pain that he's going through. But literally all corners of the ground, every player, a member of staff, referee, linesman, you name it, everybody was applauding.
Fantastic.
The game stopped as well. Referee allowed it to stop, and I think that should be mentioned because we do slag them off. It's a tough job. They could do better, but I think when they do something particularly,
They deserve the praise where praise is due.
Yeah, definitely. And a good return to form for Barnsley because they've been slipping a lately. So that's an excellent result. That at Blackpool, because that's not an easy place to go.
And the limbs in that away end, 92.
Yeah, on the side there.
Yeah. I think the thing is, Barnsley need to get a run of game going now, because for the last couple of weeks they have really struggled to tie game down, and actually, for a lot of the game they dominated, but they haven't been able to have that clinicalness. And I think it was always going to be a tough job for him to go into, because it does feel like Barnsley went down a route of trying to find the right successor to Duff, and they haven't done yet. So maybe this is it. But Barnsley do have a habit of getting good managers and then losing them, and they don't seem to keep them. And I think they need to find a way of doing that. Like, my sister-in-law is a Barnsley fan, and at the minute she can't go to game because she's currently having chemo. So she's missing a lot of games. But she said, we're a Marmite team. Sometimes we turn up, sometimes we don't. We don't know which Barnsley going to turn up. Yeah.
Like you say, hopefully it's the better side of Barnsley that start turning up, and it's a decent run of form. I did wonder where Neil was this evening. I hope everything's all right, Neil. Sorry for his lateness. Kids and trouble and strife.
It's not good enough. I wore this shirt for you.
I know.
Well, we're not on League Two yet, so he come around the right time.
No, we hope everything's all right.
We completely understand that one on Neil.
During the week or turn up late, it doesn't really bother us. To be fair, there's 22 in, which is a decent number so far. So it's going well. I think the last game in League One before we move on to League Two, because we're hurtling towards 3/4 of an hour, and we've still got League Two to go through. Is Reading.
Some good goals here. Some really good goals.
I think the one.
I mean, Lewis Wing. It's probably Lewis Wing's goal.
Yeah,
was probably one of the goals of the season so far. What a hit that were!
And I'm just going to say this now. I reckon Charlie Savage is better than his dad.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah,
like assist and a goal.
Yeah,
I think he's really showing how good a pickup he was.
Yeah, his dad's got nicer hair though.
Yeah, okay, I get that one.
But you've got to actually take your hat off to Reading's players and management, because they're letting all the off-field stuff not bother them, and they're just going out and getting results.
You know what? The reason that is, though, it's been going on for that long. It just seems like it's the norm for them.
Yeah.
I think they're so used to being told, "Hey, we've got a takeover," and they're like, "Yeah, all right, fine, whatever. I'm going to work." It's like they're just getting, you know, at Christmas where you think you're getting that when you were a kid, you thought you were getting that really good present you wanted, and every Christmas you get something else. So that's what they're getting. Like, you're gonna get a pay rise. Oh no, we're not. It's still here. They need to get their ownership sorted, because every time I hear that there's like a glimmer of a takeover, I think, great, fantastic, they'll be able to push on. And then you hear the goalposts have moved again.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for Reading fans, because it must be so difficult to try and figure out where you're coming and going as a club. Yeah. All they can do is be the 12th man, and the players show that performance week in, week out.
Yeah, true.
Because it'll put them in the shop window for more buyers.
Yeah,
and
true.
B, it'll just the result that fan base have got at the minute. It says a lot. Like Hull had it for the longest time. There are so many clubs who've had really bad ownership, and then they come out the other side because Birmingham had it for the longest time. So it will come eventually. It's just owners of football clubs are stubborn. Where's my sense of it? Because they're egotistical because
Yeah, a lot of owners just want being the ownership of a football club as like a status symbol,
yes,
an ego boost basically, and they don't really care.
Yeah, there's not many that do care, are there?
No.
From what we're seeing. Okay, moving on to the league table. James was spot on. Burton still winless.
Yep.
This season, 4 draws, 6 defeats from their opening 10, leaves them 24th, with Cambridge jumping above them after their.
Yeah, they got the first win, didn't they? Cambridge got the first win.
Good goal
against
as well.
Wigan, which is a really good result for them.
Yeah,
was
should
a good
probably
goal,
spoke
yeah.
about that one. Sorry if you're a Cambridge fan watching. We'll touch on you next week. We've got Crawley in 22nd and Shrewsbury in 21st. Leyton Orient just above the drop zone at the minute in 20th, with Northampton and Bristol Rovers above those.
There does look like there's the bottom 4 or 5 especially look like they're going to get cut adrift a little bit.
They look like they're
things
already
don't
gone, don't they?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's no form there at all, is there?
No.
the thing is, it's very hard when you look at those clubs as well to like try and get a manager to come into those clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
16th for Rotherham, Ian. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'll take that because we've had a slow start, but having said that, we're starting to pick up. Performances are improving, even if results aren't to a certain extent. But that was our first defeat in 5.
That's
so
decent.
yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. And like I said, I was encouraged by the performance rather than the result.
Question for you guys: if Charlton's manager does say want the Cardiff City job and he goes, how do you think that would affect Charlton?
Well, the thing is, we Mr. Jones is arguing with fans. He's creating a toxic atmosphere at the Valley. So maybe it's time for him to go.
Yeah.
Either we, I won't lie, he's a weird manager.
Yeah, he is.
He's a very, very weird manager because he comes out with some really weird statements. Like he had a load of loan players last season, and he said, "I don't want to play them because I want to use my own players." Like, so why get them in the first place?
Yeah.
Why you ask for them? Like, it's like the same with Bolton. I think Ian Everett's on borrowed time now. Yeah. I think he's a couple of results away from then going, "You're done.
Enough's enough."
See, now, a couple of sandwiches short of a picnic and all of it. It's absolute mental game. You know?
The thing is, it would be a very Bolton thing to happen that Everett goes and Sam Allardyce goes, "I want one more return," because Steve Bruce is there.
Yeah, it would.
Who knows? Who knows?
Right, gents. Talk about the top 6. I just need the toilet. I will be back.
Yep.
So you've got Birmingham, Wrexham,
yeah,
Wycombe,
no problem. It's all right. Yeah.
You probably could say top 9, really.
Yeah. I think HMS pissed the league at St Andrews is back on course now.
It is.
After the little blip, and I just can't see anybody touching them.
No. Wrexham turn up, and they always they tend to either do a smash and grab or they batter. There isn't one or the Wycombe are the Wycombe are the one that
they are the surprise package, aren't they? They are the surprise.
Exeter.
I mean, Gary Colwell's doing a fantastic job down there.
Oh yes, it really is.
Because I mean, let's face it, who wants to go down there? I mean, it's a monumental trip for most League One clubs to go down there.
Yeah.
And they're a joy when they're on form. They're a joy to watch. Exeter, they're a good side.
Sorry,
and there's no stars in it. There's no stars. They're just a very good, efficient team. And
I say you go from 5th place to 9th. It's anyone's.
Oh yeah, we are to down.
Possibly 4th because Manfield's little blip, but I don't think that's gonna be another blip. I think that
was yesterday's surprise result. That them losing at home to Stevenage.
Yeah,
but they could get very tight very quickly.
Yeah,
in the playoff situation.
Yeah,
but we were just saying Wycombe to surprise bunch out of all that.
One of the Wycombe's game yesterday didn't a bloke a player score a hat trick in 9 minutes?
Yes, he did. He came off the bench, didn't he?
Yeah, scored a hat trick in 9 minutes.
We missed some
That's
good
how
games,
to
haven't
affect a
we?
game, isn't it?
Yeah.
We skipped past Wickham. We skipped past Cambridge. Sorry. Lovely
There's only
stuff.
so much we can shove into an hour, Dan.
I know, that's it, and we're hurtling towards the hour. We did put a focus on League Two last week, so we'll just pick one game each. I'm obviously going to start with Swindon against Donny. I only watched the highlights on this one, so I can't really say too much.
Deserved. That looks of it.
It looks that way, yeah. If that David's still in on the stream, by all means, come in and let us know what the game was like. But statistically, it looks pretty good. Bailey's in as well, so he said not. Where's it gone? There we go. He said not a great performance yesterday, but a huge result and massive confidence booster for Ironside. Completely agree. Would never have been able to take that penalty under those circumstances.
He knocked it in really well.
Shows a player improving.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, Ironside's not scored yet this season in any competition, so his first goal comes 4 minutes into injury time, when you know that putting that away is pretty much winning the game for you. So to have that composure to step up and that confidence to step up and take it, hopefully it just takes that pressure off him a little bit, and it can
kick on.
It can push on. It's funny that David should say this. We're not even out of second gear yet, so I've recorded my preview for the Bromley game, which will go live tomorrow on the channel at 7:45. And I've said that the consistency that we're showing at the minute, we're nearly at 2 points a game, 23 points after 12 games.
Yeah.
And we've just been ticking over. It's not like we've really, like David says, we've not got out of second gear, and we've not really put.
You're not needed to, though. You're not needed to. That's the thing. I think that's if you can be a team that's not out of second gear yet and are not needed to, that's good, because you've got players who are going to be rested. You've got players who are going to be able to, when you do need to go for it, they can hit that another level and be gone.
Yeah.
I mean, since Chesterfield, that defeat against Chesterfield, you've been virtually faultless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, David says it was similar to the Crew game, where only one team wanted it. Only this time we got the winner.
Yeah.
So we're pushing against Crew, and it stayed 1-1. So yeah, it's nice to see Ironside get on the score sheet. It's nice to see, as I think Bailey said it. Let me find it. Yeah, good to see us score from two corners as well. It's not been great on them over the last few years, but we're a threat from them all game. Good mix of them as well. So yeah, not just straight in, it was short corners and stuff as well. So always.
What's interesting is what Grant done over the summer.
Yeah,
because I think he knew what he needed immediately. From as soon as that playoff game was done, I get the funny feeling the kind of bloke, as soon as that's gone, the next day he's in the office, he's going, I want this, we're moving this. This is how we're set up. I've already got a plan of action. Because he'll have seen from last season what that team can do. And it didn't need much adding to it. It just needed to be consistent. And that's what you're doing now. You're being consistent. And if you're consistent in League
I'd take
Two,
another 3 quarters of season doing exactly what we're doing now, because that'll put us in top 3.
Exactly.
Lovely stuff. Bailey's got a question for us all before we move on. Who is the best penalty taker in your opinions for your club?
I can't comment. I ain't had a penalty in 516 days. Probably Michael Smith.
Among our current squad, I'd say Johnson Clark Harris, because he's our designated penalty taker, and he rarely misses. So.
I think Arthur Smith, but again, what's a penalty?
Yeah.
I literally not have one since the playoff semi-final versus Peterborough.
Actually, Smudge is a good penalty taker.
He's a very good. He was our last penalty taker.
He took a lot of pens for us.
Before we move on to your guys' games, any of you want to do Notts County versus Wimbledon?
I'll do that.
Is there no other particular game you want? Because all we're going to do was bring Dale's comment up for this game, which was a gritty win for Notts County yesterday against a well-organised Wimbledon team. Next two for us are Barrow and Harrogate at home.
Big games.
And big games at Donny in the league. So yeah, that's you've got two
Yeah.
winnable games there. I think
We're
I'd
good.
personally I'd be happy with 4 points from 6 there.
Yeah.
But yeah, County are looking okay, aren't they?
They're looking okay, but to be honest, I mean, Wimbledon have surprised me this season because they're really competitive. I mean, they were like a lower mid-table club last season, but I think Johnny Jackson's got them aiming a little bit higher than that. But
He's a
County, yeah,
he's a manager who's under the radar, and I
Yeah,
think
he is a bit.
he fits that model of being under the radar.
Mm,
Yeah.
I think
also-
he could really do well.
yeah.
Good.
And also, Jackson is a Charlton legend as a player.
Mm.
So if Nathan Jones actually does go, that might be a good fit.
Well, he wasn't he at? Didn't he have the Charlton job for a while
It was
and he left?
caretaker
For a
little bit,
while,
He
I
was
think he did.
caretaker,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think he did, yeah.
I don't know if he'd go back with the current ownership stuff again.
Who knows?
I think Charlton's one of those ones. If you go, be prepared for chaotic off the scenes
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a big
I think-
club. They're a very big club, Charlton.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is not so just ticking along.
Yeah, they're doing nicely, aren't they? They're just
Yeah.
going along nicely.
Yeah.
And they've coped
Similar to
well
Burnley,
with losing Langstaff as well.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, they are coping well. Jake, any game that
Vale versus Fleetwood. Vale are just
sorry,
They-
buddy?
they are playing some really good football at the minute, and it's not surprising, really, because me and you are both two clubs who's had Darren Moore at the helm, and when he
Mhm.
gets going, he doesn't just get going. He makes them hard to beat. He gets them
He does.
going, makes them hard to beat. And the thing is, they're clinical. 8
Yeah.
shots, 3 on
Three-
target. Every single
3
goal was a
goals.
goal.
Yeah.
You can't fault that. And I think for them, I think they're probably just a couple short in January, and then they'll have a proper pull. Fleetwood, up and down season.
But first defeat in ages for Fleetwood.
Yeah.
This.
It's-
They've been doing
it's a-
really well.
It's an up and down season for them, but I think Fleetwood just need to dust themselves back down again and go again. Because at the end of the day, if they can keep doing what they're doing, and like I said, first defeat in ages, there's nothing that said they can't really push on again.
Yeah,
It's
true.
just Fleetwood are a weird one because of where they've been in League One for the longest time. It's hard for them to come back and reset. Like Donny had
Yeah.
it the first season back. It was hard to have it like with the reset. The only thing I don't like about Fleetwood is them at home and their sodding goal music.
Yeah, nobody
Oh,
wants to be a
Captain
captain
Football.
football. David's got a good point there. Surprised with Port Vale because when we played them at Vale Park, we made them look extremely average. Won the game 3-2, but it was a very late penalty that made it 3-2. But
think-
since that result, I don't think they've been beaten. I think that's just kind of given them
Kicked
the
them
kick
up.
up the arse they needed,
Yeah.
and they've pushed
Remember
on from
the
that.
pre-season? Remember the pre-season? I had Vale as champions.
You did.
I did. And I think Ronan Curtis is a cheat code for League Two because I thought he was brilliant at Pompey.
Like
The
Neil
thing
said,
is, you
Fleetwood
look
are no pushovers this season. Charlie Adams doing a good job.
yeah. I always forget it. Charlie Adam at Fleetwood.
Yeah.
Ian, I'm guessing you're going to do Bradford Gillingham with the attire that
yeah,
you're currently wearing.
I will. I mean, obviously, I only saw the highlights, but another good win. I was very impressed with him at Tranmere last week when I went, and I thought they really deserved to win that game. And Gills are just going backwards at the moment, aren't they? But another coming from behind win for Bradford, and also Andy Cook didn't score,
No,
which
I put him in
surprised
the
me.
team as well.
Yeah, I did as well. Yeah, but at Bradford, they're cooking quite nicely at the moment, aren't they? They're
Yeah, we've got next
slipping
Saturday.
under
It's
the radar a little bit.
hasty encounter, that one.
Yeah. Obviously, with the support they've got, and if they can get some momentum, they'll take some stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neil's asked about Shepherd's goal.
Oh yes, another good,
It
another
was a
good
hit,
hit.
wasn't
Yeah,
it? It was a good hit, but
Yeah.
I think Gillingham fans will probably be disappointed that they've not cleared the ball.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was. I'm thinking of the right goal where it was just a bit of a
distance.
Yeah. They've not got enough behind it to get it out of danger, and it's just come to Shepherd and he's hit it.
I like that. Cookie can't go every week. You got to keep it interesting. I like that.
The view from Medway said 8 shots on target in 4 games for us is telling. 9 of the 11 that started against Bradford Saturday played most of last season. Appreciate we have injuries, but 4 defeats in a row is unacceptable.
Yeah, I can get that.
Indeed. There we go. Yeah, good result for Bradford. Cook not scoring shows we're not one man team.
To be fair, that's good though, because for a longer time people have thought that's what you are, and you really not. I think the example I always give is people used to always you look at when Gerrard finally retired from Liverpool. Liverpool turned into a much better team because people thought it was a one-man team. They turned into a team. It's like I'm slightly, even though we play the team, everybody knows the person who runs our midfield is Barry Bannon. And when he does eventually retire, I'm going to be like, we got anyone ready for that position yet? Or like can we clone him like Dolly the Sheep?
We've never replaced him.
Nah, you always had those players like Rotherham. They'd never really replaced Woody.
Yeah, I completely agree.
We've all got that one player we wish we could clone like Dolly the Sheep.
Yeah. It's interesting though about Cops. I mean, Cops was Doncaster Rovers, weren't it? For a lot of years.
Bro.
Yeah.
He could have gone so many times and he never did.
Yeah.
I
miss him. Right. We will touch on Newport County against Chesterfield because James has been in from minute 1. And he just said that our game against Chesterfield sums up our season. We can't defend for shit.
Yeah, but Will Grigg's on fire.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be too. I wouldn't look too much into a 3-0 defeat to Chesterfield. They're not a bad team. They did us 3-0 at our place, and in a game where we just didn't really show up. But they're efficient. I mean, look at that: 8 shots, 3 on target, 3 goals. They know where the net is, and when you've got a striker like Will Grigg at this level, he's going to find the back of the net, isn't he? Yeah. Very good. I
just wish we had him for half a season and he were injured for half of that. I just wish we'd have given him another contract, but we didn't.
Just to see what he could do.
Because he's a goal scorer. He's a poacher. He's a 6-yard box poacher. I mean, both his goals yesterday proved that. Both his goals on Friday, prove that he's a goal poacher.
James has said first goal's an absolute embarrassment. Yeah, keeper comes out, defender's not sure what he's doing. Neither of them deal with it, and it's a horrible start, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think if you start like that, it sums up your day.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you look at a lot of the games this week, there were a lot of goals from minute 1.
A lot of early goals. Yeah. Right, let's have a look at the league table. Yeah, 16 seconds. Yeah, I think you've won something this weekend.
You won that one.
Yeah.
We've ticked over the hour mark, so we do apologise if we've not touched on your team. We will try and touch on them next week.
Worry for Morecambe.
If you are watching and you support a team that we've not touched on, get it in the chat, and then we will make sure that we focus on them next week. But looking at the league table, Morecambe currently occupy 24th with Carlisle.
If Morecambe go, I don't want to say it, but I think if Morecambe go, that's their team gone.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll survive in non-league.
No, me too.
And I hate that because Morecambe's a great day out. Good fan base.
It's a fantastic away day, Morecambe. Yeah.
So asking people to let us know who they want us to focus on. ATID never disappointed. We're focused on Argyle when we win, so I'm not clinically depressed. It's a therapy session, ATID. It's where we can just lay it off.
And what me and Dan originally set this out of being therapy session for each other, both our teams were crap when we started.
Bromley, we faced them on Tuesday night. Although they're sat in 22nd, I think they are a team that are difficult to beat. I mean, the 3 draws have come against Fleetwood, MK Dons, and Chesterfield, I think. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think we can underestimate them going into Tuesday night. Hopefully we don't. Moving up the table, MK Dons in 13th. They had a poor start. They're starting to pick up.
They're starting to pick up, yeah.
Yeah.
And can I have a
But
shout out, please? Can I have a shout
Yeah.
out? Accrington Stanley. They're
Yeah.
pulling themselves
They're pulling
around.
themselves. Yep. They're
Yeah.
starting to
Three
pull it
wins
Three
on
around.
wins on the
now,
bounce.
which is good.
We've got
Yeah,
a soft spot for
fantastic.
Accrington on this show, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we have,
typical EFL team. Up to the top of the table, Port Vale looking really, really solid for their position at the minute, unbeaten in the last 5.
Just
Donny.
remember with Accrington Stanley, if they go on a run, they could do a Donny like last season.
Possible.
You were
Very
around
possible.
that most of it, and then you just went. So
Yeah,
maybe
we've
it's the
seen
case
the-
they just started
There's
slowly.
potential for it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Definitely. Donny in second, Walsall thumped Grimsby 4-1 this weekend, up to third, and then the playoffs, Notts County, Bradford, Gillingham, 4 defeats on the bounce. A view off the Medway said it's not good enough after the start that they've had, with Barrow occupying the final playoff position.
Look
that
at
Bradford City game
Chesterfield.
on Saturday is looking good, isn't it?
Look at Chesterfield. They've only lost 2 games, too many draws probably, but
Yeah.
that's a good reintroduction into league football.
Let's just remember who the Chesterfield manager is. He knows how to do
Cookie.
League 2 and League 1. It's his bread and butter.
We've got Super Sadler Seb in the show. Nice to see you. Good content creator as well. He'll be happy with his team's performances at the minute.
23 goals in 11 games. That's good going.
It's a place to go if you want to see goals, isn't it? Okay, finally, before we round this video off, we'll have a quick look at the 72 Review League. If you've not joined it yet on the Fantasy EFL, go ahead, join it, search for 72 Review League, and you will find us. We've got 23 in there at the minute. Max, he's having a nightmare. My nephew is dropped down to 22nd. But moving up the table, I've had a good week, 67 points. I'm happy with that. I think
2 good weeks running.
Yeah,
you're on my shirt tails now.
20th to 14th. So yeah, chasing you down, Ian.
Yeah. I didn't think 52 were bad for me, really.
Yeah, it's decent. I think Bailey is the only player who's got the same points as me for this week. Have a quick look. Yeah, me and Bailey, 67 points for this week so far, but it is a double game week, so midweek will end up changing things. Lee Pearson still holding on to that top spot with Adam just behind him. So yeah, it's looking
there's only 2 points in it.
Yeah, very, very tight. Lovely stuff. And that brings us to the end of episode 81. The chat has been fantastic as ever. Thank you for getting involved. I think we topped out at about 28, 29 viewing at once, which numbers are going really well. If there's anybody that you talk to about EFL, you want to get them involved, point them in this direction on a Sunday evening. It's great to see this show growing and everybody still being respectful in the chat. And yeah, like we say, it's just a therapy session just to get shit off his chest and have a good week, not thinking about the performances that we've seen on a weekend.
It basically stops us all our lasses telling us to shut up about football.
Yeah, it does.
And getting me off YouTube.
So we'll go around the screen for a final thought, starting with Ian.
Fantastic therapy session again. I really enjoy these Sunday evenings. I think, like you said, it gets a lot off your chest and it's enjoyable. Yeah,
it is indeed. Punk Chef, any final words, mate?
Look, we do these because we love our club. We vlog, cover our club because it's a different platform to being on a fan forum. The reason why I stopped doing the fan forums, I wanted my face to put out if there was something that was going to be said. We can all be behind green names, but I wanted it to be a bit more authentic. We do this because we love our clubs. On a Sunday, it can either be a nightmare because you've had a mare, or it can be an absolute relief because you've had a fantastic week. And the thing, we've been doing this since 2021.
Wow, hasn't it? Yeah.
I think it was 21 we started it. Me and you, and we just slowly added other people. If there's any other content creators you would like to come on who's in EFL, please let us know. We'll try and see if we can get them on. The more, the merrier. But the thing is, we just keep building this, and we appreciate you spending your Sunday and your time watching us talk football, and we appreciate the community.
Yeah.
Can't put it any better. Neil's come in banking us for tonight. Don't worry about your lateness.
Don't worry about it.
Week, everybody. roll on Saturday. Hopefully,
Them chickens,
I'm gloating this
them
time next
chickens,
Sunday. Before we do finish, how many shirts do you have, Ian?
Several. I've not
Far
counted
too
them,
many.
but several.
Several. And Sue said that she loves watching this as raw chat, and it warms her up for Cod's Vlogs next. Yeah, Cod's Vlogs does a deep dive. Very, very good content creator.
It is.
I would,
And he's doing
love to
really
have-
good stuff with Fleetwood at the minute as well. The
is.
podcast they got with Fleetwood is really good.
Yeah, is doing it very, very well. So head over, get him watched as well. Show your support and say that us three have sent you over.
Yeah.
But yeah, all that's left for me to say, I echo what everybody said. It's all about just kind of having a chat and hopefully having a decent week and enjoying next weekend's football and hopefully a better performance if it's been a defeat, or the same performance and the same result if it's been a win. But yeah, if you're watching this throughout the week, please stick a big thumbs up on it. Comments in the section down below. I will read them and I'll try to reply to as many as possible. Subscribe to all three of you if you haven't already. And all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves throughout the week, and we'll see you next Sunday, same time, same place.